What is happening, fishers? Dean from Untraceable Fishing here tonight with
Andrew from Untraceable Fishing.
and welcome to
Tackle Tuesday.
So this evening, guys, what are we going to, guys, girls, all the little fishers out there, just want to leave everyone out of this. We're going to run through Okuma, 3 of their reels, pretty much what we'll classify as their rock and surf reels. And of course, they can be different applications, lure fishing, deep sea fishing, but we're going to run through 3 of their reels. So we have 3 reels on the table: the Okuma Metaloid, the Tesoro, they're pretty much their benchmark, pretty much one of their top end reels, and the famous Okuma Salina. So Andrew, let's have a look at these 3 reels. What do you want to look at?
So I think let's start at the bottom end, which is on the table,
Yes.
which is the
right.
Okuma Metaloid. So this reel has definitely built a name for itself in the South African market. Unfortunately, guys, it is a discontinued model. There is limited stock available at Bulmoria. You can check it out on their website at www.shop.bulmoria.co.za, and you will find the last remaining Metaloids in the country, which is very unfortunate. But what has made that reel get a name for itself? Why is the Metaloid so good?
Listen, guys, let's just start with the name itself, Metaloid. Sounds solid.
Sounds like something from Transformers.
Almost exactly what I was going to say. I like that we're on the same page. So, like, this is the Optimus Prime of reels, guys. This thing is solid. Full metal construction is available in 3 sizes: the 90, the 65, and the 55. I'd say the number 1 feature, besides it being a full metal reel, got a bit of weight to it, so it's super strong, super rigid, is the drag that any of these 3 reels are about to put out. Look at the 90, we're looking at 66 pounds of drag force, and even the little 55 at 55 pounds of drag force, guys. I think this leaves any other reel far in its wake compared to the amount of drag that a spinning reel in this kind of caliber and class can do. But besides that, I think currently the number 1 factor on this reel is the price, guys. You're looking at 1,999 to 2,199 on a reel which I think should be classed as a 4,000 rand reel, hands down.
100% agree with you there.
Okay, so what else should we look at besides what you want to look at?
What I want to know, okay, so I see on the top it says DFD. So what does DFD stand for?
Okay, so DFD for, in short, dual force drag. Okay, so what is dual force drag? Most spinning reels, your lower end to medium end spinning, even some of your high end spinning reels have a stack of drag washers just above on top of the spool. I'm going to open here now. Dual force drag, as the word says, dual, meaning 2. Get this off here quickly, guys. It'll have 2 sets of drag washers. So you're going to have a set of drag washers on top of the spool and underneath the spool. That's great for as soon as you tighten your drag up, you're not just getting the braking from the top, you're getting braking from the bottom as well, which is going to give you a lot smoother drag. You can have a lot less heat in the top drag washers. It's going to share that tension, so your drag's going to stay smoother. You're going to get a stronger drag, and that's pretty much the reason why you're going to have dual force drag on the reel, especially for reels with higher drag force. You definitely want something like that. One thing about the dual force drag, Okuma incorporated into all 3 of these reels on the table this evening, which is fantastic, especially for reels in this kind of price range. You're normally looking at reels 4,000 or 5,000 rand above with these sort of features, and even some of the lower end reels incorporate the same dual force drag into them. Okay, so as I said, available in the 90, the 65, and the 55. The 90, a great non-ed reel. The 65, beautiful for non-eds and your bigger edibles. And then the 55, a nice scratching, or even big enough to use off the surf for light surf application, or off a paddle ski boat. And the 90 even up for your guys that are targeting some of your game fish out at sea.
Okay, so I think now that we've covered a bit on the Metaloid, let's move on to a reel that you have come to love.
100%.
Dean has owned this reel for, I'd say, approximately about a year now. And
it might not look as pretty as this anymore.
I was just about to say the exact same thing. It looks battered and bruised. It's been through the wars, but Dean owns a 14,000, and I think he's grown to absolutely love the reel.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about one of your favorite reels?
Okay, guys, mine looks battered and bruised. It's a tool. I fish with it. I use it as a tool, as a mechanic uses the spanner. My reels don't look shiny like this anymore. I work them hard. They get worked hard. Guys, what I found, I've got the 14,000. I'm pretty much using it to target as my ragged-tooth shark or sand tiger if you're overseas. I'm using it to target fish in your range of 80 to 100 kilos, which you shouldn't really be targeting on 14,000. You should be using bigger 16, 18, 20,000 reels. But because they're not crazy big pullers of line, like you can get away with a smaller reel. Just, I don't know, I say this, your other reels in that sort of sizing, your reel starts wearing out and getting a bit tired and stuff like that. So I've had mine for a year. I've caught numerous fish, over 100 kilos, close on 100 kilos on it. And the reel has held up. I own 1, 2, 3, I think 4 reels in similar size and the same price point. I'm not going to mention names of manufacturers. They're all brilliant reels. They all worked well. But the honest truth, none of them have held up as much as the Salina has. My Salina has not gone backwards. It hasn't got any roughness in it. It hasn't got any wobble in it. It's only got better over time, which sounds a bit weird. And I still haven't serviced it over a year. It gets splashed in the surf where I shouldn't be splashing it in the surf. I wade with it. Not designed for it. It's not a sealed reel. But it takes all the splashes, all the knocks. It gets dropped on the rocks. It gets scratched to pieces. And it holds up perfectly well. It handles sand well for some reason. Not a lot of reels do this. Reel handles sand really well. No sand gets inside of it. 6+1 bearings. But while we're on the bearing count, should we? Is there anything you want to know about bearings?
Yeah, so there's 7 bearings in here. There's 8 bearings in the Metaloid. There's 13 bearings in the Tesoro, which is yeah, it's a lot of bearings. But why? What does more bearings mean a better reel? Because this reel is more expensive than the one with 8 bearings. So,
correct.
So why is that?
Okay, guys. So let's look at bearings. You're not going to go into the whole science of bearings. I'm just going to break down quickly for you. You get pretty much 3 types of bearings: a sealed bearing, a full seal bearing, a shielded bearing, and then just a standard ball bearing. And you get rotor bearings. We're not going to go into all that. It doesn't always mean that the more bearings a reel has, the better quality reel it is. Yes, in instances like this, it pretty much does go from the less bearings up, the better the reel is. Not always price point, but the better the reel is. But I think it's the quality of the bearings and the placement of the bearings, guys. I'll just run through for the Tesoro. The Tesoro on the rotor has got bearings above and below where the rotor is placed. It's going to keep your rotor spinning a lot easier and keep your rotor a lot more stable, where a normal reel might have bushes, and over time the bushes start wearing and you start getting movement in the rotor and things like that. So I think bearing placement's more important, and the quality of the bearings, then bearing count. But taking that into note, if you are fishing with the better brands out there, the Okumas, the Shimanos, the Dowas, Abu Garcias, sorry if I haven't mentioned any of the top brands out there, bearing count you can pretty much take as a better reel. Just start looking at when you're ordering your reels online from dodgy Chinese companies. You're going to see reels with 27 bearings. Don't buy one of them.
So one thing that I do notice that all of these reels have is the power knob.
The power knob.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And this is definitely something that I enjoy. I know some guys don't. I know your Saragossa has
got the egg handle.
Egg handle.
Yeah.
Some guys like that, but I quite like this power knob. I'm quite happy that all of them have. I know you mentioned that you wade with this reel, and I think the one thing for me that would probably make this the perfect reel is if it was sealed.
Yeah, it would seal. That would be a fantastic. If they seal that reel, I'd be so stoked.
I think it would be the perfect reel.
I think it's something Okuma are thinking about. We might see something in the future coming out soon like that. I've heard little birdies talking along the way. But I just want to run back to this reel quickly. Super solid, guys. There's no flex in this reel. Even I'm fishing 50-pound braid on this reel, the best braid that money can buy in the country at the moment on this reel. And when I'm hooking up, I'm not even able to snap. And I've got even when I'm trying to snap my braid, that my little frame can't snap. No flex in the reel. The drag's staying nice and strong. Yeah, nothing I can fault about to say. I think a beautiful reel. It comes in available in the 5,000 to 6,000. Perfect for the guys throwing lures or maybe doing a bit of estuary fishing or light scratching. 8,000, 10 and 14,000, which is perfect for your rock and surf and your guys on your ski boats, jet skis and fishing skis out at sea to target some of the bottom fish or game fish out there. Another nice feature on this reel, the handle. I don't know if they've got a bearing or what they actually got inside there. But this handle mine spins a bit more. It's a bit more worn in. You never get your handle feeling tight and things like that. And obviously, Andrew said the power knobs, it'll make a big difference to your fishing, especially your power fishing where you're putting a lot more power in the handle and not finessing your lures through. Power handle is definitely a must once you get used to it.
Okay, so it looks like we're moving on to a reel that I absolutely love. So moving on to the Okuma Tesoro. So guys, for the longest time, I fished with a pen slammer.
Yeah.
I've got
a couple of years.
I own the Slammer 3. I own the Slammer 4. I love the reel.
Well, technically, the Slammer 3 belongs to me now.
Well, technically. I love the reels. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. But I now own a Okuma Tesoro, the 20,000, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to go back.
Yeah.
This is my ultimate reel.
Listen, I fish with Andrew all the time. Slammer 4, slim, brilliant, immaculate reel. He picks up his rod as a Tesoro on every time. With like, he fishes with the Slammer, but you can see the Tesoro is definitely your first rod you're going to pick up on.
Tesoro is my favorite, and I think one thing that has driven me to like it is
the sound of the ratchet. The sound of the ratchet.
So if anyone has watched our YouTube videos and you've seen some of our videos of myself fighting either black steambras or spotted gully sharks,
or that bronzy that picked you up that day,
the bronzy that picked me up here, you would have heard the noise that this makes, and I think that's a selling point for me when it comes to reels, is the noise that it makes.
Of course, but that's definitely
I think it's important when you, especially fishing in the surf for things like your cob or you pegging.
Rod, you can hear, if something pulls, if you can hear it,
yeah, you can hear it from a mile away. Whereas a silent reel or a silent drag, not so much. So I think that's what has sold me a lot on the reel. One thing I have noticed is you've got these like transformer type looking Optimus Prime,
space age stuff,
rotor things. Yeah, what's going on?
Looks like a little bit of a Formula 1 car, guys. Okay, so all those shapes are something Okuma have called cyclonic flow rotor. So in layman's terms, when this reel is wet, or there's moisture or anything on this reel, as soon as you start engaging the handle and spinning the reel, all those grooves and nooks and crannies are designed to disperse the water away from the reel and not throw the water back towards the spool where it can penetrate the main shaft, because that's the main place water gets in on your reels, is penetration through the main shaft. So that spin gets the water away from you. It might spray on you, but hey, you're fishing, you're going to get a bit wet. It's only a little 2 or 3 drops anyway. So it's something the clever guys in the Okuma factory and the engineers or whatever they're using, their physicists, I don't actually know what they use that side, have designed and come up with, and I think they patented it as far as I know. So definite, brilliant feature. I know when Andrew comes out to surface, one turn with the handle, I get to tension up, poof, and his reel's dry. All the moisture's been flicked away. Nothing left on your reel to penetrate your reel. And that is a feature in I know it's in the Tesoro and it's in the Salina. All the newer models do incorporate that. Tesoro, 12 plus 1 bearings. There's 13 bearings in it. As I said earlier, there's 2 bearings on the titanium of all pinion gear. So it's got a titanium pinion, which a lot of other reels don't. So brilliant features for this thing to have. So, sorry, let me just get that titanium spool shaft. The pinion gear runs in it. The spool shaft titanium. Let me just get that fact right.
Yeah, so we have kind of sort of reviewed this reel and we've kind of pegged it up against the Saragossa and the
Slammer and the Saltiga, yeah.
So one thing that we did mention was this handle, which felt a little bit plasticky to us, and that was like it wasn't like a major negative, but it's just something that we said, okay, we're going to be spending 5,000 Rand in a reel, but this feels very plasticky. But it's actually not plastic. It's not plasticky at all. What is it?
Okay, so guys, when we first picked this reel up, we had never fished with it, picked it up out the box, we pretty much unboxed it, put it together, and I was like, yo, Andrew, this doesn't feel good for a reel in this type of class. But getting to know, we actually found out that this is carbon. It's a carbon matrix or carbon. I don't know exactly what the process they're going through here, but it's a carbon handle. It is super light, guys, and incredibly strong. I felt like I was going to crush it the first time I picked it up. No ways in hell. This thing is bulletproof strong, and light. And you think, why would you want a lighter handle? First of all, it makes the reel lighter, and your startup inertia. It's a lot less weight in your hand to go around. It feels like you're reeling. Honestly, it feels like you have nothing in your hand when you're starting to, like air. You can't feel any weight in your hand, and it's beautiful. It's beautifully molded, and it's super comfortable. And for something that's made out of carbon, it is super grippy, especially when it gets wet. It actually feels like you actually get a better grip on it. So definitely something that's, I think I've only ever seen it featured on this particular reel, but I wish all reels would have the same handle on now, going forward.
100% agree with you there. So one thing I must say about the Salina and the Tesoro guys is that there was a major stock shortage in the country for the longest of times on all the Salina models as well as the Tesoro models. They have just landed, and there is stock available at Bilmoria's in the stores as well as on their website, guys. So if you are interested in getting your hands on one of these reels, including the Metaloid, which there is limited stock of, please get to Bilmoria's website and check them out, add them to your cart, and get on fishing. Is there anything else that you want to mention about these reels?
Let's just run quickly, okay? So we've got the Metaloid, guys. We're looking at get me if I might get me a couple of £100 or £100 out. I think at 1999 to 2199 comes in a 55, a 65, and a 90. Moving over to the Salina, it's a 5,000, a 6,000, perfect for the drop shot guys out there, the guys on the boats, the lighter fishing. 8,000, a 8, a 10, and a 14,000. They're moving on over to the Tesoro. There's a 10, a 14, 18, and 20 for your non-head guys out there. I know in the States, I've seen overseas there are two smaller sizes. I don't know if they're 4,000s or 6,000s. I don't want to get it wrong. We don't have them in our country, but hopefully the guys in Okuma decide to bring them into our country if there's a market for them. I'd love one of these in a small little package.
100%.
We're not quite there yet, but hopefully they do come through. And of course, the most outstanding feature of this is RPX 7 rated, guys. A lot of guys, we don't RPX rating. RPX rating makes a difference, guys. You know, the reel's been gone in. They spent the money to have the testing done and get a certificate to say this reel is sealed. If you don't know about RPX ratings, just Google RPX ratings and you'll learn all about it. It'll be another 20 minutes for me trying to explain what it is. Layman's terms, RPX 6, 7 is better than 6, 8 is better than 7, and it goes up to about 9. So this is a very, very well-sealed reel. I think there's only 2 reels that I know of that are RPX 8 and 1 RPX 9 reel that I know currently, that I know in the world, and they about 3 or 4 times the price of this reel. So you're looking at a 2,000 Rand reel, you're looking around the 3,000 Rand mark. And I know the Tesoro is coming in at about 5 grand plus minus a few rands here or there. So if you are looking for a fantastic reel or Christmas present, anything upcoming up, Christmas is one of these days, it's just around the corner actually. Have a look at these. I don't think you'll be
You won't be sorry with any of them.
disappointed for any of them, guys. I own one, Andrew owns one, fished with one, all performers, all fished in. Yeah, we've pretty much taken them above what they should be used for, but that's what we are, to take the reel and try abuse the reel and see what the most we can get out of it, and they haven't failed us yet. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us this week.
But first,
before we go,
what's new?
What's new? Tell us what's new, Andrew.
I'll tell you what's new because I'm wearing what's new. Anyway, guys, Bulmoria have just unpacked these awesome BKK soft shell jackets, guys. They are windproof, waterproof, breathable, and awesome.
And look super good.
And they look amazing. Anyway, guys, these are available in limited sizes, guys, limited quantities as well, and they are retailing at 2,999 Rand. They're soon to be uploaded to Bulmoria's website. So if you are wanting one of these jackets, make sure that you get hold of the guys at Bulmoria, check your sizing, and hopefully they've got one for you. The other thing that they do have is this amazing BKK hoodie with that awesome BKK print in the front.
The most comfortable hoodie.
Yeah, the most comfortable.
Hands down.
Yeah, I also own one, and it probably is the most comfortable hoodie that I own. These ones are retailing at 1,299 Rand, guys, and quite honestly worth the money.
100%.
One thing we can say about BKK, just in general as a brand, is class.
Yeah,
class and quality.
It's got that elegance to it, I think, yeah.
Absolutely. So anything that comes from BKK, you know that it's got class and style and elegance.
And functionality. It actually works.
Absolutely, guys. So if you are looking for some quality fishing apparel, I know Dean mentioned, like, when he puts the stuff on, a lot of the times you want to wear your fishing clothing only for fishing, whereas the BKK apparel, you want to wear it out.
You'll wear it out. The stuff's good enough to wear out. You look neat, clean. I think it's definitely. I don't actually want to wear my BKK stuff fishing because I don't want to mess it up fishing. That's how much I love the stuff.
Exactly, and I'm dressed in this tonight because I love it. Yeah, plain and simple.
Super, super comfortable, guys. The hoodies, I'd suggest you get one because your boyfriend, your mom, your sister, your girlfriend, your fiance, your wife, your partner, they're going to end up stealing your hoodie. I'm telling you now, that thing is so comfortable.
That's why you need to buy 2.
Buy 2.
Anyway, guys, I think that kind of wraps up Tackle Tuesday for this week, where we've covered these awesome reels, which I'm about to drop from Okuma, but I did catch it. Anyway, guys, I think that closes up this week. We've got this awesome apparel from BKK, beautiful reels from Okuma. And anyway, guys, I'm going to hand it back to Dean so he can do the closing.
Anyway, guys, thanks everyone for watching this video, giving us your time. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Untraceable Fishing on YouTube. Check out our Facebook page, and then hit that notification bell on YouTube so you can be notified of all our upcoming videos. And get the comments flowing, guys. If there's anything you want to ask about any of these reels, with regards to sizing, whatever you want to ask us about them, hit them up, or check out any of our previous videos. Please go do it. Also, check out Bulmoria on Facebook or visit their online shop. And you can be part of any of these amazing deals they have going, and some brilliant new deals coming up. I had a little sneak peek of what's coming, guys. There are some brilliant prices. Hands down, you're going to want to be spending some money and buying yourself some new fishing gear. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us from Dean from Untraceable Fishing here with
Andrew from Untraceable Fishing.
Until next week, thanks for joining us for Tackle Tuesday.